The world is made of water out here, a great, unending blue. It stretches to every horizon, a deep and powerful presence. Then a smudge appears, a tiny speck of green and white against the vastness. This is Nauru. It is an island that does not ask to be found. It simply is, floating alone in the immense Pacific Ocean. It seems almost a secret, a place forgotten by the world's busy cartographers. The air changes as you approach. It becomes thick with the scent of salt and warm earth. A feeling of profound isolation takes hold. This is a land that has its own time, its own rhythm, dictated not by clocks but by the sun and the tide. As the shore draws closer, details sharpen into view. A thin ribbon of brilliant white sand encircles the island. It is a perfect, unbroken line. Behind it, a dense wall of coconut palms and pandanus trees rises. They sway in the constant sea breeze, their leaves whispering a welcome. Or perhaps it is a warning. The water itself is a kaleidoscope of blues. It shifts from pale turquoise in the shallows to a dark, mysterious indigo in the depths. The waves are a constant companion here. They crash against the reef with a low, rhythmic boom, a sound that is both soothing and a reminder of the ocean's immense power. It is the island's eternal heartbeat. There are no grand harbors here, no sprawling ports to greet the traveler. One arrives as people have for centuries, at the mercy of the sea. The island presents itself simply. What you see is what you get. A circle of life surrounded by an eternity of ocean. The sun is an intense, ever-present force. It bleaches the coral and warms the sand. It casts sharp, dramatic shadows that move slowly across the day. This is not a gentle sun. It is a powerful, life-giving, and demanding star that governs all activity. To be here is to feel small, a temporary visitor in a world that has existed this way for millennia. The first impression is one of stillness, not silence, for the island is full of sound. The wind rustles through the trees, the waves crash, birds call from hidden perches, but there is a deep, underlying quiet, a sense of time moving differently. The frantic pace of the outside world has no place here. It is as if the island exists in a pocket of its own reality, a place where minutes and hours lose their meaning. There is only the rising and setting of the sun, the ebb and flow of the tide. This is Nauru, an island adrift in time, waiting for those who are patient enough to listen to its story. A single road encircles Nauru. It is the island's artery, a thin strip of tarmac that clings to the coastline. To travel, it is to understand the island's scale. It is a journey that can be completed in less than an hour. Yet it feels like a journey through different worlds. On one side, the endless breathing ocean. On the other, the dense green life of the coastal fringe. This road is where life happens. It connects the small communities that dot the shore. It is a place for transport, for exercise, for social gathering. The pace is slow. People walk, cycle, or drive at a leisurely speed. There is no rush. Where would one rush to? The sound of the sea is a constant companion on this road. It is a symphony of natural percussion. The gentle lapping of waves on the sand during calm days. The thunderous roar as powerful swells break upon the outer reef. The hiss and retreat of water over the coral flats. This soundscape is punctuated by the calls of seabirds. Terns and noddies wheel overhead, their cries sharp and clear against the low rumble of the ocean. They are the true masters of this coastline. They dive with incredible precision, snatching fish from the turquoise waters. They are a reminder that this is a wild place, governed by the ancient rules of nature. The beaches are vast and empty. They are places of stark, raw beauty. The sand is soft and white, made of countless generations of ground coral. It is littered with the treasures of the sea, shells of intricate design, bleached pieces of driftwood sculpted by the waves into strange, beautiful shapes. At low tide, the reef flat is exposed. A world of shallow pools and intricate coral formations is revealed. It is a natural aquarium, teeming with small fish and other marine life. But it is also a landscape of sharp edges and hidden dangers, a place that commands respect. As the sun begins its slow descent, the light changes. The world is bathed in a warm golden glow. The sky ignites in shades of orange, pink, and purple. It is a daily spectacle of breathtaking beauty. The people of the island emerge from their homes. They gather on the beaches in the cool of the evening. They fish from the reef's edge. They sit and talk, their voices low against the sound of the waves. This is a time of community, of connection, a time to watch the day end and prepare for the night. The ring road becomes a place of quiet communion, a shared space between the people and the sea. To leave the coastal ring is to enter another world. The vibrant green gives way to a strange and haunting landscape. This is the interior of Nauru, known simply as topside. Here, the earth tells a story of profound transformation. A vast, eerie plateau stretches for as far as the eye can see. It is a place of silence and desolation. The ground is a jagged maze of limestone pinnacles. They rise from the earth like ancient, weathered teeth. They are the bones of the island, exposed to the sky. Walking here is difficult, treacherous. The pinnacles are sharp, and the ground is uneven. This is a man-made desert, a landscape carved not by wind or water, but by human hands. The towering pinnacles are what remain after the island's rich phosphate deposits were stripped away. They are a monument to a forgotten industry, a silent testament to a past that brought great wealth and then left great scars. The silence here is different from the stillness of the coast. It is a heavy, profound quiet. The wind whispers through the pinnacles, creating a low, mournful sound. It is as if the land itself is breathing a long, slow sigh. There is a sense of loss here, of something precious that has been taken away. Yet life persists. Nature is resilient. Hardy ferns and shrubs cling to the sides of the pinnacles. They find footholds in the cracks and crevices. They are pioneers, slowly reclaiming this wounded land. Small, resilient birds flit between the stone pillars, their songs a surprising and welcome interruption to the silence. Lizards dart across the hot stone, their movements quick and furtive. These small signs of life are a powerful reminder of nature's ability to adapt and endure. They offer a glimmer of hope in this otherwise desolate landscape. There is a strange beauty in this place. The stark, geometric shapes of the pinnacles create a surreal, almost alien terrain. Under the harsh midday sun, the limestone glows a brilliant, blinding white. At sunrise and sunset, the pinnacles cast long, dramatic shadows. They create a landscape of light and darkness, of sharp contrasts and hidden depths. It is a place that invites contemplation, a place that asks difficult questions about progress, wealth, and the price that nature pays. The interior of Nauru is a landscape of scars, but it is also a landscape of secrets, holding the island's complex history within its silent, stony heart. The people of Nauru are as much a part of this landscape as the sea and the sun. They are the keepers of the island, a society that has weathered immense change. Their connection to this small piece of land is deep and ancient. It's a bond forged over centuries of isolation. They are a gentle, welcoming people. A smile and a friendly wave are the common currency here. Visitors are a curiosity, a novelty. They're greeted with genuine warmth and an easygoing hospitality. There is no pretense, no artifice, just an open, honest engagement with the world. Life is lived outdoors. The boundaries between home and community are, well, pretty fluid. Families gather under the shade of breadfruit trees. Children play freely along the roadside. The concept of privacy is different here. Life is a shared experience. Everyone knows everyone. This creates a powerful sense of community, of mutual support. In a place so isolated, reliance on one another is not just a virtue, it is a necessity. This interconnectedness is the bedrock of Nauruan society. It's what has allowed them to endure the challenges of their unique history. Cultural traditions are woven into the fabric of daily life. Fishing is not just a way to get food, it's a skill passed down through generations. The knowledge of the tides, the currents, and the habits of the fish is a precious inheritance. Storytelling is also vital. The elders are the libraries of the island. They hold the histories, the myths, and the genealogies in their memories. Their stories connect the present to the past. They explain the world and the Nauruan people's place within it. To listen to these stories is to gain a deeper understanding of the island's soul. Attitudes toward visitors are relaxed and informal. There is little in the way of a formal tourist industry. Interaction is therefore more authentic, more personal. A visitor is not a customer, but a guest. This can be disorienting for those accustomed to more structured travel, but it is also incredibly rewarding. It allows for genuine connection, for a real glimpse into a different way of life. To be a visitor in Nauru is to be invited for a short time into their world. It is a world that moves at its own pace, a society that has found a unique way of being in the modern world. The challenges of the modern world have left a visible mark on Nauru. One of the most noticeable is the health of its people. The rates of obesity and related illnesses are among the highest in the world. This is not a simple issue. It's a complex story tied to the island's history and its relationship with the outside world. It's a story that should be approached with sensitivity and understanding, not judgment. The physical stature of the Nauruan people is often large. This is a visible manifestation of a profound and rapid shift in lifestyle. The transition from a traditional diet to one based on imported, processed foods has had a dramatic impact. For centuries, the Nauruan people subsisted on fish, coconuts, and root vegetables. It was a diet perfectly suited to their environment and their way of life. The arrival of wealth from phosphate mining changed everything. Suddenly, the island was flooded with canned goods, sugary drinks, and fatty foods. These items became symbols of status and modernity. They were easier to prepare than traditional foods. Over time, they replaced the old ways of eating. The landscape itself contributes to the challenge. The interior of the island, scarred by mining, is not suitable for large-scale agriculture. The coastal fringe, where most people live, is narrow. There is limited space to grow fresh produce. The island is therefore heavily reliant on imports. The cost and availability of fresh, healthy food can be a significant barrier. This reliance on the outside world creates a vulnerability. It's a paradox of modern life on Nauru. A nation surrounded by the bounty of the sea, yet dependent on ships from far away for its daily sustenance. This is a burden carried by a gentle and resilient people. It is a public health crisis, but it is also a quiet, personal struggle for many individuals and families. It is a visible sign of the complex bargain Nauru made with the modern world. The wealth that brought so much change also brought this difficult legacy. To see the large frames of the Nauruan people is not to see a lack of discipline. It is to see the physical embodiment of history. It is to see the weight of modernity carried with quiet dignity on this small, isolated island in the middle of the sea. Nauru is an island of whispers. Its history is not written in grand monuments or well-preserved archives. It's etched into the landscape and carried on the wind. There are gaps in the story, moments of silence that hint at a deeper, more mysterious past. The origins of the first inhabitants are shrouded in uncertainty. How did they find this tiny, isolated speck of land in the vastness of the Pacific? What epic journeys, what feats of navigation brought them to this shore? The answers are not known for sure. They are the subject of speculation and legend. The island holds physical clues to its forgotten history. All around the coast, hidden among the trees and along the beaches, are relics of past conflicts. Concrete bunkers, half buried in the sand, rusted anti-aircraft guns, pointing silently at the sky. They are the ghosts of a war that swept across the Pacific. A war that briefly and violently brought the outside world to Nauru's shores. These remnants are a stark contrast to the island's peaceful, timeless feel. They are a reminder that even this remote paradise could not escape the turmoil of the 20th century. The true suspense of Nauru, however, lies in its more recent past. The story of the phosphate is a tale of incredible wealth and devastating environmental cost. It's a story of a nation that, for a brief moment, was one of the richest in the world, per capita. Where did that wealth go? How did it change the people and the island? The answers are complex and often contradictory. The legacy of this era is everywhere, in the scarred landscape of the interior, in the reliance on imported goods, in the very health of the population. It is a history that is still being processed, still being understood. The future of Nauru is as uncertain as its past is mysterious. What happens when the story of an island is so deeply tied to a resource that is gone? How does a nation reinvent itself? These are the questions that hang in the warm, humid air. They are whispered in the rustle of the palm leaves and the roar of the surf. The island feels suspended between a past that cannot be reclaimed and a future that is not yet written. To be here is to feel this tension. It is to stand on a beautiful, lonely shore and listen to the echoes of a history that is still unfolding.